No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Welcome back. I'm Tyler Walk, your 2015 Griffleball announcer, media coordinator, interview dude, everything else according to media. And today, since we weren't here last week, we will be talking about the last two teams in the Griffleball League, the Stallionaires and our three-time champion, Gashouse Gorillas. These two teams are going to battle it out this year, and I can just feel it. The excitement's building. We're only 2 days away from the start of the league at 2 p.m. on Sunday, where the Bird Gang take on the Lightning for the first two games, the Taka Drivers take on the Nighttime Ninjas after that, and then the Stallionaires take on the Gashouse Gorillas for our nightcap. So we're going to talk about the previews of the games, and we're going to go into one of the last two team previews, the Stallionaires. Last year they went 12-5. 3-4 in the postseason. They almost made it. They were really close. They're missing something. But this year's roster includes Matthew Kuna, Nate Bryan, David Kunapasic, who's a rookie, and John Reyna. Well, last year, Matt Kuna's stats are about what you expect. Basically Hall of Fame-esque, with hitting .545 during the regular season with 25 home runs and 65 RBIs. And let's not forget, the dude can pitch. 6-1, 30 innings pitch with an ERA of 0.17. He gave up one earned run last season. Just one during the regular season. That is unbelievable. That is amazing. And he struck out 48 people in the meantime. It's in 30 innings pitched. He is by far the best pitcher in Griffleball. But he has not carried his team to a championship yet. Will this be the year? Who knows? He might need a little bit of help on the pitching side. Can't rely on just one pitcher. Which leads me to John Reyna and Nate Bryan. Reyna hit .358 last year with 5 home runs and 13 RBIs. While pitched 2-2 in 16 innings pitched and only had a 4.06 ERA. Those numbers are going to get a little bit better if they want to win a championship this year and dethrone the Gashouse Gorillas. Nate Bryan, on the other hand, hit .496 with 21 home runs and 48 RBIs. That man can hit, but when it comes to pitching, he was 3-2 with 22 innings pitched and had an 8 ERA and 12 strikeouts. An 8 ERA. So basically, Kuna cannot do this all by himself. He needs some help on the pitching side. If Nate can get his pitching mechanics right, you might be looking at a different season than last year. And then also, David Kunapasic is also on the roster, but this is his first year. Welcome to the league, David. Hope you guys do well. The player to watch is none other than Matt Kuna. Like, what else can I say? There's nothing much to explain about it. I already gave you his stats. All-Star, Hall of Famer. By far the best pitcher in the league. We'll just see if he can outdo himself from last year and see if he can give up no earned runs. That'd be amazing. But he's going to have to carry the bullpen. He's going to have to carry the bullpen / starting rotation if the other three cannot help him out, because with just him, who's going to pitch the rest of the games? The X Factor, like I said, Nate Bryan, David Kunapasic, and John Reyna, the rest of his team. He needs help pitching. They need help pitching badly. They can hit. They can outscore with the rest of them. But when it comes down to it, when you got to close the game out, are they going to be able to do it? Or should it be blown save after blown save? We'll see during the season. But their obstacles, I feel like I'm reiterating myself, is the pitching rotation. They're going to have to get something going. One man cannot do it all. This is not Chris Sale of the Chicago White Sox. You need more pitching. It's going to happen. And their other obstacle is, of course, the Gashouse Gorillas, who have gone on a 30-game regular season winning streak in the last 2 years. They're going to have to be stopped, and Stallionaires and the Nighttime Ninjas are two teams that could stop them. My prediction for them this year is 15-5, and an upset loss in the semifinals to the Nighttime Ninjas. I might be wrong. These are just my predictions. I'll have to see how the season plays out. But I believe maybe the pitching doesn't do it in the first round of the semifinals. Who knows? But they're going to have a great season. They're going to have a good team. They're going to be ready to play on opening day. The next team on the list is none other than the 3-time GBL champions, the Gashouse Gorillas, managed by none other than the commissioner of Griffleball, Jeremy Ratajczyk. They have, like I said earlier, 30-game winning streak in the regular season. They have been unstoppable in the last 2 seasons. Could barely be beaten. They've lost 1 game in the postseason last year and lost, I think... Give me just a second. Give me and then only maybe 2 games overall over the last 2 seasons. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah, they've only lost 1 game. 1 game in the postseason. They are total. Let's just baffle out the numbers here. 14-1, 16, 14, 44-1. Just take a second and think about that. You took a second? Okay, cool. 44-1. That is absurd. That is godlike. That is New York Yankees 1940s, 50s, 60s style. They're unstoppable. Their roster this year, including the manager Ratajczyk and our commissioner of Griffleball, Jim Tucker, Zach, again, if I mess up your names, I'm very sorry, Zach McIntyre, John Livingston, Ryan Gallagher, and Mike Dempsey. The other 2 of them were required in a trade with Ethan Arve. And the stats last year for Mr. Ratajczyk, he hit .509 with 24 home runs and 47 RBIs. Pitched 27 innings, went 4-0 with a .74 ERA and 29 strikeouts. In the playoffs, he upped his game even more. When it gets to playoff time, the commissioner knows what to do and he knows how to win. Jim Tucker hit .424 with 5 home runs and 19 RBIs. Also went undefeated 5-0 in the regular season with 18 innings pitched with a 2.22 ERA and 19 strikeouts. They got a 1-2 monster combo here. It's insane. After that, Gallagher coming back after only playing a few games last year. I think it was just 2 or 3. He's going to be a big help because he was one of the original Griffleball players in the first 2 seasons, and he was really good. About one of the best. After that, we got McIntyre with a modest .235 average, 4 home runs and 9 RBIs last season. Pitched 2-0 in 10 innings pitched with a 2 ERA. And then the playoff time, nothing really changed. His ERA went up a bit, but he only pitched 3 innings, so it's probably a little bit inflated. Then the new kids on the team this year, Mike Dempsey and John Livingston. Livingston didn't play last year. He was in 2013. Let's see if he'll play this year. He did pretty well for his short period of time. And Dempsey, we'll have to see as well. We don't have much to go on with their stats here, but they could be big X factors this year. A player to watch, take a wild guess. I wonder who it could be. The commissioner? Of course it is. Mr. Commissioner, a.k.a. Jeremy Ratajczyk, manager of the Gashouse Gorillas. One of the best power hitters, one of the best pitchers, 3-time Griffleball champion. And might as well call him the Babe Ruth of Griffleball, because he can do it all. He was one of the original creators of the league, and he's been around for the first 5 seasons and going into season 6. Nothing shows me that he can't be as good or better than he was in the past. The X factor this year for the Gashouse Gorillas is Ryan Gallagher. He didn't play much in the last few seasons, but in the first 2 seasons, from what I got, he hit 60 home runs. 60. 60. It's a baffling number. They didn't win the championship the first 2 years, but the Lightning did. So he's going to do more than just hit the ball. He's going to have to pitch a little bit too. The obstacles, I like to call it, as I wrote down in my notes here, the Miami Heat syndrome. They get back to the championship. That'll be the 4th time in a row they went to the finals. Fatigue, they're basically trying to outdo themselves here. So they are their biggest enemy, honestly, until someone can prove otherwise. Predict they're going to go 19-1. Yes, they're going to lose a game. I'm not going to say they're going to go 20-0. I feel like they're going to win a 4th championship and do what the Miami Heat couldn't do in basketball, is go to the finals 4 straight years and win all 4 instead of just splitting them. those are my predictions for the season. As you can tell, Gashouse was number 1. The Stallionaires were number 2. The Nighttime Ninjas were number 3. God, I forgot my own rankings. I'm a terrible person. The Lightning were number 4. The Bird Gang was number 5. And the Taco Drivers were number 6. We'll see how the season folds out. I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to see you guys all on Sunday. I can't wait. I'll be there at 2 to watch the first game, get a feel for it. And I'll announce the last nightcaps. I'm excited. In a little bit, we'll be talking to the manager of the Gashouse Gorillas and our commissioner, Jeremy Ratajczyk. So I'll see you guys in a second, and we're going to ask him a few questions.
Hello, Jeremy. Thank you,
soon.
and welcome to the unofficial GBL headquarters. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Tyler. It's a thrill to be at the unofficial GBL headquarters.
All right, Mr. Commissioner, I see. First, can you tell me how the league was formed and how the GBL came to be? Just give me a little backstory, history about it.
Well, way back when, the summer of 2009, me, Ryan Gallagher, Kyle Lidster, and Jamar Abrahar would play 2-on-2 wiffle ball in Ryan's front yard. And the next year, I was like, you know what? Why not just try making it a league? We'll see what happens. And then, sure enough, 5-6 years later, it's grown into this. We're one of America's most well-known wiffle ball leagues. We've been at the national tournament the last few years, and we're going to go again this year. And I never really knew it would grow to be this big, but I always said that if it does grow to be this big, I'm going to keep it going as long as possible.
Right. You said the National Wiffle Ball Association, right? You go to the nationals every year. How have you guys done in the last few years?
The last couple of years we were pretty competitive. We were right around the 500 mark. The first year we struggled, but we're getting better every year. And it's a little bit of a culture shock to us because the style of play at nationals is a little bit different than our style of play in Griffleball. But we're coming around and we're expecting big things this year again. So.
What kind of style of play is different? You can compare the style of plays from GBL to the nationals.
Well, they the style of play in the national tournament. They use 3 fielders, whereas we only have 2. And so, you got to get extra out in the field. And then the biggest thing is they run the bases in that, whereas in Griffleball we don't run the bases. Also, strike zone's a little bit different. They use a strike board, we use a lawn chair.
What did contribute to the growth of the league? How did it become so big after starting in a small house in someone's front yard? What happened?
Well, I mean, we started asking all of our friends, and we got a lot of people that were interested in playing, and we got probably the first year we had probably 8 to 10 people, and then it just kept growing. Word of mouth. People kept hearing about this wiffle ball league, and everyone just coming. Actually, playing under the lights was a big thing at the field at Shepherd Park. Me and Kyle Lidster, former vice president of the league, we were trying to find a field one day after Ryan Gallagher moved to Texas because we needed another field to play, and sure enough we found the Griffle Grounds, what it's now called, and it's pretty cool. We get to play wiffle ball under the lights. It's like a professional atmosphere out there, and that was big. People busy during the day, they'd get off work and they'd be able to come play night games. So playing under the lights was definitely a huge, and still is a huge part of the existence of the league.
Have you ever had any problems at Shepherd Park with the lights or other interactions with people?
Yeah, sometimes we'll run into, since it's a public park, sometimes we'll run into basketball players that are out there, and and sometimes the lights will malfunction every now and then. But I usually, when that happens, I email the town and they're able to get on the case within a couple of weeks and get the lights back up and running, and usually doesn't delay us more than maybe a week or 2.
Oh, no, so you're the manager of the Gashouse Gorillas, am I right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I've been there. This is your 6th year as the manager, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me a little about them. How did you come up with the name and some of the other teams in the league? First, let's talk about your team and the current 3-time GBL champion, Gashouse Gorillas.
Well, the name of the Gashouse Gorillas actually came from a Bugs Bunny cartoon. So there's Bugs Bunny was playing a baseball team back in the 50s whenever it was set, and it was actually a reference to the Gashouse Gang, the St. Louis Cardinals back in that era. And I thought the players on that team just were really funny looking, like the cartoon characters. So I figured that would be a pretty cool name to have for a wiffle ball team. So yeah, that's where that came from.
Do you know about any other teams in the league? What are some of I know the Lightning is an original team. Are there any other original teams that started from the first year on?
The Lightning and the Gashouse, those are the only 2 teams from the original year. Okay. We also have the Stallionaires. They were formed the 2nd year. And then the Taco Drivers are an expansion team. Bird Gang 2nd year. And then the Nighttime Ninjas also, I think they're 2012, so this will be their 4th year.
Okay, all right. How do you feel about the future of the league? Where do you think it's going to go from here, being in its 6th season?
Well, for as much as I do love being the commissioner of the league, and I love the effort that everyone puts in. I do understand that everyone is getting older now. Most of us are probably in our mid-20s at this point, or early 20s. And people are getting older. People are getting married.
I know, right?
Yeah, so you gotta factor in all those things. The grown-up aspects of life that you can't really seem to avoid. But I just said from the minute this league started, I said I was gonna keep it going as long as I can, and I felt like this year can be another successful year. I don't see any roadblocks, and I don't see any reason why we shouldn't have it this year, and possibly a few more, and hopefully maybe one day down the road, 10 years from now, we can all have our own houses and have our own home fields in our backyard.
That'd be amazing. Speaking of the future, you were talking about the future. Is that why you move like all the responsibilities of adults? Is that why you move most games at Sundays? So knowing Sundays are easy to get off, or they don't work them at all because most are gonna have 9 to 5 jobs.
Yeah, the first couple of years we were pretty much out there every night. I would text the same group of people. There's 10, 15 of us. I'd send a mass text out every night, and people would be like, okay, here's when I can play. Okay, let's play a game. That availability has diminished over the last few years, and now it's pretty much just Sunday nights. Last year we went down to Sunday and Thursdays, but the Thursday game night became a problem really fast, and so Sundays we're just gonna do straight Sunday afternoons and Sunday nights this year.
As the commissioner, what are some of your responsibilities?
Well, a lot of my responsibilities have been taken off my hands the last few years, but in the existence of the league, I've done everything from setting up the field to umpiring on close plays to keeping score, website, all pretty much everything that involves the organization and the coordination of the league. But like I said, with you as the new media coordinator, that'll help take a lot of weight off my shoulders, and a lot of people have been helping out lately, which has been nice.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity too. Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. Can you talk about? We'll go on an easy note. Talk about some of your favorite Griffleball moments. You have one that stands out the most.
I don't mean to brag here, but I do. My favorite Griffleball moment was the 2011 World Series Game 5. I believe you were on the call for that game, right?
I might have been.
The 12 inning no hitter against the Lightning.
Yeah, I was there. They get an 8-hit, 0-0 going into 12 innings. That's the long game.
It was a great game. And you know what? For as cool as it was having winning that game and throwing a 12 inning no hitter, it was cool. Just the atmosphere of that game was great. That was the second year of the league, and that the 2011 World Series was great because that was the first time where everyone in the league and everything got really competitive, and we really had a professional atmosphere out there. The 2011 World Series was the first time that we used the broadcasting, that we actually taped the entire game, and we actually brought walk-up songs and field music to the park those games too. So that was really cool. The Gashouse, we've won the World Series the next 3 years after that. We actually lost that World Series, but I hate to admit it, but I almost had more fun losing the 2011 World Series because it was so action-packed and exciting than I did winning the last 3. So hopefully we could restore some of that excitement this year.
We'll see at the end of the season if you feel the same way about losing a GBL title as you did a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how the emotions go on that one.
Do you think there'll be any expansion for the league? Maybe go to 6 teams to 8 teams, possibly?
That's actually been an idea that's been thrown around in past years, but we found out that having 6 teams was it's a perfect number because it's having less than 6 is just too little because then first of all, if you have an odd number of teams, then it makes it really hard to schedule games. But and then the next option would be 4. That's too little, and then 8 is just too much because then each team gets to play less games and you don't get to play other teams as much. So 6 is really a perfect number for Griffleball. I'm sure for other leagues it's different, but I mean for us out here with the number of players we have, 6 is just it's a perfect number for our league, I think.
And one little side note: the Backyard Wiffle Association of Chicago South Side has recently came in contact with you. Can you tell me what that's about?
Well, the Backyard, was it called WAX or BWAX? Yeah. So they're a league in Chicago, and I think they're new to the NWA, maybe the last couple of years, and I think they're in Oak Lawn or the Chicago area, and they contacted us about a preseason series, and unfortunately that series got canceled this week. It was supposed to be Saturday before opening day, which is tomorrow. And due to the rain in the forecast and the blustery conditions, we're gonna have to postpone it. But we appreciated the invite, and we're hoping to reschedule, and we look forward to making a trip to Michalski Park, which appears to be one of the coolest and up and coming wiffle ball fields in the area.
You have any questions, Ratajczyk, Mr. Commissioner,
Yeah.
GBL champion, MVP, All-Star, Hall of Famer, anything?
No, I mean I'm looking forward to this season. I think we're going to reestablish that competitive atmosphere, and I'm really excited to get back out there and can't wait for tomorrow.
All right, I'm excited too. We'll see you guys on Sunday. You guys have a good day.
It's gonna be a fun year in Griffleball.
There we go. You said it right. Talk to you guys later. See you Sunday.
Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amazing.